Hi there. I'm delighted to say I'm joined this afternoon by National Group Referee Coach Paul Taylor. Hi, Paul. How are you?
Hi, Chris. I'm good. What's happening?
Well, I'm led to believe you're doing something a little bit different than your day job. Can you tell us what it is? I think
I
the
am
clue's in the
just,
T-shirt.
yeah, I was going to say exactly that. Um, I'm leading a team of volunteers at the Women's Euros 22, and I'm particularly focused on Brentford Community Stadium.
Brilliant. So how did you first get involved in that?
Well, if I take you back to 2012, I think most people remember the London Olympics either for Super Saturday or for the games makers. And it was the games makers that really contributed into making that such a fantastic event in London. And I was fortunate enough to be selected to volunteer for that. Subsequently, as a result of that, as a result of being a games maker, a number of other opportunities are regularly offered. So in 2015, I did some work on the Tour de France. And then in 2019, around this time of year, actually, the I did some work at Lords for the Cricket World Cup and was fortunate enough to be there for a final, which was a match I'll never forget. And then I think the opportunity to work at the Women's Euros in a volunteer capacity was just a fantastic opportunity to
Brilliant.
be.
So you've obviously got a fantastic amount of experience. I mean, and you've mentioned looking after all the events at Brentford Football Club. Can you give us a little overview of what is happening at Brentford Football Club and what you have responsibility for?
Yeah, so there's just over 100 volunteers, broadly split into two. One is spectator services, which is just really making the customer experience for the spectators something that they'll never forget. So, irrespective of the 90 minutes, from the moment they arrive in and around the stadium, welcoming them, talking to them, making sure that they know where to go, and then during the egress, when the spectators leave the field of play or leave the stadium, it's around just making sure that they can depart safely and that they've all had a good time, irrespective of the result. So that's the spectator services section. And then there's the operational services, which can involve anything in terms of what do UEFA need from volunteers to help support what they're doing inside the stadium. So that can be anything from delivering food from the kitchen to the outside broadcasting units, all the way through to assisting with the any post-match drugs tests for any of the players and chaperoning the players. And then I guess sort of closing off the night, that also includes putting some of the TV furniture onto the field of play. So, for example, the screens in front of which the players are interviewed. So it's fairly hectic on match day. We have people arriving from late morning, midday to early afternoon, and then most of those will run through until post-match 10:30, and then of course some of the people who are supporting the drugs tests will be there till a lot later than that.
Yeah, it sounds like there is a lot going on, and you've got a heck of a lot of responsibility. But what is it about the role that you enjoy the most?
Well, I think it's being part of this celebration of women's football in England and being in and around the stadium and watching people and helping people who perhaps have never been to a football stadium before and bringing their families and really just trying to help them make memories of what is, as I say, a celebration of women's football.
Fantastic. I've got one final question for you.
All right.
Who's going to win the tournament?
Well, in a way, I hope the biggest winner is women's football in England. I guess also it would be great if England can go on and win the championship. And if England don't get there, then I really hope that the team of English match officials are appointed to the final.
A fantastic answer. I mean, you're obviously doing a great job, something you speak very passionately about. You're enjoying it. Thanks very much for taking the time to speak to us today. We really do appreciate it.
Thanks for asking. My pleasure. Thanks, Chris.